Okay, this video is going to cover how to run a pre-registration only tournament on bracketwrestling.com. I'm already logged in and I have a tournament here ready to go, so I'm going to click on that demo tournament. And I'm going to point out an option in the configuration when I set up this tournament. So if I go underneath the pre-registration options, this is a pre-registration, it's an online only tournament, so it only allows pre-registering online. Now there's an option down here to allow bracketing before checked in. I want to make sure I have that checked. That will allow me to bracket all the wrestlers for the tournament before they're actually at the tournament. It'll also give me a few extra options when I'm doing the bracketing as well, and I'll get to that. So what I'm going to do for this tournament, I'm just going to pre-register for this tournament like my fans or participants would normally. So I'm just going to go to my pre-registration link from here. And it takes me to the public side of the website where everyone else would pre-register for your tournament. So I'm going to go ahead and add a wrestler. So I'll just go ahead and fill out this register form. John Smith, first grade, say he's 90 or 87 pounds, intermediate. I'll save him. So now I have John Smith here as a wrestler that I want to pre-register. I'm going to go to next. This takes me to the payment page. For this tournament, I'm not charging any pre-registration money, just for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm pre-registration. So I'm taken to the third step to print out the wrestlers. So from here, I can go to print weigh-in slips or weigh-in sheets. This will generate a PDF for me to print out and take to the tournament. And when I take it to the tournament, they can scan this barcode in to check that wrestler in. So I'm just going to close that. So now I'm done pre-registering this wrestler. If I go to manage here, they go back to the administrative side of this tournament and go to wrestlers. I go to the pre-registered view, and here I can see this wrestler was pre-registered. So for this demonstration, I want to get a bunch more wrestlers into this tournament, so I'm going to go ahead and import them. I'm going to hit pause here. I'm going to import out the wrestlers, then we're going to continue on from there. Okay, now I have all the wrestlers imported into the tournament as if they were all pre-registered. If you ever need to contact someone who pre-registered a wrestler, say you need their permission to move them in a certain bracket prior to the tournament starting and they're not available, you can always click on their name. You can see who entered the wrestler, and then so you can get their contact information. Okay, so now that I have all my wrestlers, I'm going to do the bracketing all prior to my tournament starting. So on the bracketing page, start off by generating the brackets, and now we have a new option here because of the option we selected in the setup to allow pre-registered wrestlers to be bracketed before they check in. So here is that option that gives us the option to turn it off actually from here as well when we generate the brackets. If you haven't checked in yet and you don't want to put them in a bracket yet, you have the option not to, but typically we want to bracket all the wrestlers who have pre-registered. Okay, so after I generated, I had 19 wrestlers left unbracketed. So you can see there's a red circle with a slash through it. That means the wrestler has not checked in yet. So if we look through all our wrestlers, nobody has checked in. So for the sake of this demo, I'm not going to go through the bracketing. There's a separate tutorial to cover bracketing, but I will point out two additional options we get with the pre-registration only tournament, and that is you can hide the wrestlers who have not checked in. Right now that would hide everyone because nobody has checked in. That's for the unbracketed wrestlers. On the brackets themselves, if we go to more options, we have the option here to only show brackets with wrestlers not checked in. So once your tournament is just about to get started and everybody has come through the door and you've checked in everybody who's going to show up to the tournament, you have the option here to show all the brackets where wrestlers are not checked in. So you can go through those brackets and pull out the wrestlers who did not show up at the tournament, and then you can adjust those brackets accordingly. If you wanted to check someone in from this page, you can also do that. You can simply click check in, and then the red slash will go away. I'm just going to check them out to be consistent with all the other ones. Okay, so now everybody, assume I went through all the bracketing, brackets are set. Now it's the morning of your tournament. So what we want to do is we need to check in all the wrestlers that have been bracketed for your tournament. So right now, if I go to the wrestlers page, I look at checked in. Nobody's checked in. If I go to pre-registered, that's where they all are. Okay, so now we're ready to check in the wrestlers. And if you recall, when we went through the pre-registration, the person pre-registering was asked to print off the weigh-in slips and take them to the tournament. If for whatever reason the person pre-registering forgot the slip, you can simply type in the wrestler name here and find the wrestler. So if I search for Craig here, Craig Miles, you can simply check that checkbox and they'll be checked into the tournament. Or uncheck it, we'll check them out. So, to check them in with the barcode scanner, I want to make sure my cursor is in this text box with the wrestler ID, and I can simply scan the weigh-in slip. So that takes the wrestler ID, puts it in a search field, and searches for that wrestler and checks them in. You also notice there was a green bar across the top that said successfully checked in. So make sure you see those things when you're checking people in and nobody gets missed. So there I went ahead and scanned in 3 more wrestlers and checked them in. If I want to see those wrestlers, I can get rid of the search criteria here of that wrestler ID. You can sort by the checked in field. So here are the 4 wrestlers I just checked in. So the check-in process can go pretty quick with the barcode scanner. So on the public side of the website, I have that on this tab, I can search for Craig, and you can see Craig now has a green check mark indicating that he is now checked in. So the fans can easily see if they accidentally were not checked in, or they missed the check-in process, or something went wrong. If they look up their wrestler on their device and see that they have a red slash, that kind of indicates to them that they need to get the wrestler checked in. Otherwise, they risk being unbracketed before the tournament gets started. The same holds true for the brackets themselves. You also see that indicator. And if you clicked on the wrestler name, it also says if they're checked in or if they're not checked in. So it should be very apparent to the fans and the parents that the wrestler is not checked in or checked in. Okay, that pretty much covers everything. As I mentioned before, if we look at the brackets, they're going to show who is not checked in and who is checked in. And we have the option to find all the brackets with wrestlers that have not checked in by checking this option and doing the search. And then as usual, after everything is set, your brackets are ready, you can go ahead and go to print and get your tournament started.